You're listening to Not the Sermon with Eric and Jamie.
What's up, Eric?
Nothing.
Oh, way to match tone.
I'm not matching energy today.
I can tell. Are you okay? Annie, are you okay?
You can't make me dance to your tune.
Are you okay, Annie?
Throwing peanuts at me now?
Yeah.
Dance, monkey. Do the thing.
Make me laugh. Make me laugh.
You're like the NPR.
Oh, yeah. It's Krista Tippett. I used to listen to her show.
Yeah, today.
You know their names?
Yes. I used to listen to NPR back when I went through my
Lame.
progressive phase.
Progressive, that's what
Yeah,
we're calling it.
I grew up with my dad blaring nothing but Rush Limbaugh.
Yes.
And Glenn Beck and Sean Hannity and Mark Levin and all of those guys all day long. And when I got old enough to have my own radio in my truck,
I'm going to listen to the opposite.
I'm listening to NPR.
Daddy say I got to be Republican.
Dude, I still say stuff like Rush Limbaugh. He used to say like, reporting live with my formerly nicotine-stained fingers.
Yes.
So,
Wow.
One thing I remember from Rush Limbaugh is when he like flushed the people he didn't like.
oh, yeah.
Aborted them or whatever.
He had Bo Snerdley, his producer.
Oh,
Anyways, yeah.
My dad used to listen, but I didn't ever really hear a whole lot of it.
I lived in constant fear that the world was ending when I was a kid. My dad bought all of the MREs from Glenn Beck.
Oh, yes.
And he bought all the patriotic cookie tins from Sean Hannity.
Did he invest everything
and
in
he
gold?
bought, and this is a throwback for some of our listeners for Rush Limbaugh, he bought cases of the 2 If by tea, which was Rush Limbaugh's signature tea brand.
Wow.
Okay.
No idea.
And so I thought the world was always ending.
Eric, you look nice this morning.
Thank you.
What happened?
I don't know, man. I just woke up in the shower. I don't know. I figured it's a little bit. It's cooling down a little bit. It's about 10 degrees cooler than it is in the morning.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So nice.
And I thought it'd be time, even though it's going to be 95 this afternoon.
Yeah.
I figured it'd be nice to wear some actual pants. So no thighs out today. But yeah, what's going on with you, man?
Well, I kind of feel weird. So you're dressed up in a button-up plaid shirt.
Yeah, and
I have a T-shirt on.
You look like you got kicked out of a homeless shelter.
I wouldn't go that far. Did y'all get this reference? Guys, this listener, I know you can't see this, but this is a gift from friend of the podcast,
Beef.
Brisket. This is a T-shirt for the band Captain Geach and the Shrimp Shack Shooters.
I couldn't even.
Does anyone
say
know
that
what this is from?
without saying a curse word?
It's a deep cut from a movie.
I don't know.
Sounds like an Adam Sandler or something or other.
No, Tom Hanks.
Oh, okay.
Big.
No,
Forrest Gump?
no. It's The Wonders.
I don't know.
Oh, the Oneaters.
The Oneaters. That's right. That's right. Yeah, the movie about the 50s or 60s one-hit wonder band. So they moonlighted. They were in a movie, and they were named Captain Geach and the Shrimp Shack Shooters.
Okay.
And yeah, so
I feel like I couldn't say that without accidentally saying a cuss word.
yeah. Well, you want to try real quick on the air in front of
Captain
everyone?
Geach and the Shrimp Shack Shooters.
Good job, buddy.
The Shrimp Shack. I'm just kidding.
Yay, good job.
Listener, we are currently shooting the Skybalon right now, where we just shoot the breeze, talk about what's going on in our lives, and
Why'd you look at me so endearingly? Like you were like, "This is where we talk about our lives."
Really?
Yeah,
I don't
you looked
think
at
I
me
did that.
creepy, dude.
Check the replay.
Don't
Check the
do
replay.
that, man. Real Michael Tate energy.
I need to let golly. I need to let the sermonauts know something. I apologize. We are still flying without Phoenix. We've been flying without Phoenix the whole season
For
3.
months.
Too close to the sun.
Phoenix has just abandoned us. It's not for lack of trying.
He told me that he is currently stuck at a bus stop in Houston, and he's just trying to get enough money. He's been busking using nothing but plastic spoons.
Well, I got 2 things about Phoenix since he's not here to defend himself. I'm done. So here's what y'all need to know about Phoenix. First of all, this past Sunday, Phoenix randomly decides to sit on the front row, right next to me.
I enjoyed that.
Eric's on the right of me. Phoenix is on the left. What's that song? Joker's to the right.
Who may sit at your right hand and your left hand, Jamie?
Evidently, you and Phoenix. And there's an announcement video. Eric does this video about what we call VFCU. This is essentially our Sunday school, but it's at night. It's classes, kind of like a Bible college.
Yeah.
And he does this video, and immediately Phoenix and Eric start talking to each other across me very loudly in their normal conversation tone, and Phoenix is like, "Yeah, you didn't check the white balance or something." And I'm like, "Guys, be quiet."
Objection, Your Honor. That's conjecture.
Okay,
I'll tell you what happened.
What happened?
I remember because I was shocked at your response. So I made this video, which, by the way, I'm not a video editor, guys. So first and foremost, Alex does the video for the podcast. I was just kind of taking a stab at recording and editing my own video.
Yeah.
And I taught myself this program, which is just ridiculously hard. It took me 30 minutes to just do one edit. And so I'm just proud that it made the cut on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there looking with pride as my name rolls out and transitions out, which took me an hour and a half to fulfill. And then Phoenix leans over and says, "Hey, you didn't check the white balance on that." And I go, "Well, I wasn't." And before I even got the sentence out of my mouth, Jamie's like,
You guys are yelling on the front row during the middle of the service.
You guys, I was not yelling. He was yelling about the white balance, and I was about to say I didn't do anything with the white balance.
Yeah.
And before I could get that sentence out, Jamie, with what is it called, like displaced rage? It's like when a dog attacks something close to it, even though that's not what's agitating it. So I get the brunt of this, and I haven't even finished a sentence. So that's my testimony, Your Honor.
That is not true at all. I knew it was Phoenix. You started to respond, and you were louder than you realized because you were trying to talk to him
I'll
across
take
me.
that.
But that's why I was like, guys. I was like, shh, be quiet, because like you were making more noise than you realized.
Well, when I was on the back row, I was like, "What's going on up there?"
I'm sure you were, Alex. Well, it's a little disheartening when you spend 4 hours editing a 2-minute video, and the first thing out of anyone's mouth is, "Hey, you didn't check the white balance."
Dude, I
I
thought
don't know what a white balance is.
I thought your video was great, buddy.
Thank you.
Seriously, I was.
It's awesome. Man.
Global Senior Church Daddy approves.
Yeah.
Another thing about Phoenix, real quick. So I hadn't been seeing him except on Sunday mornings, and then it's like a rush, right? Trying to get everything done. So I sent him a voicemail. I called him just to say hi, and I went to voicemail. So I left him a voice message and just said, "Hey, man, just checking in, saying hi. I want to let you know, love you, miss you, and I'll see you again soon." Right? Well, he texts me back and says, "You need to see this." Because, a lot of phones will do visual voicemail where they'll transcribe the voicemail. So here's what the voicemail service thought I said. Phoenix with some man shame.
Yeah. Phoenix with some man shame.
I'm pretty sure I said, "What's up, man?" or something like that. "I was just sitting here thinking about you, and I wanted to give you a call. And I love you, appreciate you, and I hope you're having an awesome day. I'll talk to you later, ma'am."
Yeah.
Got it.
Give him a little man shame.
And then it ends with "got it."
Yeah.
And I didn't say "got it."
I think you may have. I think you're just trying to cover for what you actually said.
"I'll talk to you later, ma'am."
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. That's I believe it.
I like that. Phoenix with some man shame.
With a little bit of man shame.
Right after that though? It sounded kind of, "Hey man, I love you."
Oh, that was exactly what it was.
Like, hey.
I was like, "Hey, dude." Well, it wasn't like
It's me again, Margaret. Ray Stevens.
What's going on with you, man?
Not much. What I'm bringing to the table today is a little bit of man shame, actually. So I had a bad habit throughout my life of losing or locking my keys in places.
Yeah.
And so every door in my house or every door in my life has an alternative way to get in. Because of how, like, either an extra key somewhere or my house has I'm all digital at my house. Like, it is what it is. But my truck keys, I only have one set because I lost my main set. The fob doesn't work, so I have to use the door key to get in and all that kind of stuff. And I go to Publix and I buy ice cream and meat because that's what I sustain myself with.
Yeah, that's the two food groups.
I'm coming out, and it's the middle of the day. It's like 2 p.m., and I get in my truck and I pat myself down for the keys. I don't have my keys. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I check my pockets 10 more times thinking that they'll appear in one of the pockets I've already checked.
You need to manifest those keys.
And then I look in my truck and I see my backpack sitting awkwardly in my seat, where not usually where it is. And I remember, oh gosh, I got chapstick out of my bag. I bet I set my keys down and ruined my whole routine of putting my keys in my pocket, locking the door, all that kind of stuff. And so then, but I've got ice cream and meat and it's 2 o'clock and it's 98 degrees. And so But the thing is I live really close to this grocery store I was at. So I'm like, I can walk like literally a quarter of a mile to my house. And so I put the stuff up, we save the groceries, and then I've got to call a locksmith. And everybody's like, why don't you call the sheriff's department? And I'm like, that's not their job. Their job isn't, the people that call you, I'm going to say it, hot take, you are cheap if you call the sheriff's department to unlock your car. You cheapo. Pay for your mistake. Pay for it.
No, negative. I will call them if they're not busy. Part of me, I mean, I grew up in that.
Yeah.
My dad's a cop. Yeah. I know all the sheriff's deputies.
I've heard, though.
Could you leave that domestic dispute real quick and help me get in my car?
I've heard, this is what I heard after the fact.
If they're not busy, they'll come.
I talked to someone close with the sheriff's department, and the insider thing was they actually enjoy doing it.
Oh, really?
That I was told that, like, if they're not busy, they like doing it. It like gives them, like, it's a skill. Yeah. It's a skill that they work on, and they don't get to do a lot.
And they get to laugh at you when you leave.
Exactly. So, but I call a locksmith. Shout out to Nap. Is that
the only one?
The only one here in town. So shout out to you guys, even though you charged me a lot of money. By the way,
you just said you were fine with that.
So. I did. I was paying for my mistake, and so out comes
very Catholic.
This lady. I was paying penance. A lady locksmith. Which the thing is
that's even worse.
Well, it's, to you guys,
that's a joke.
That's to you guys. But I was like, I'm cool with this, but I know everybody else isn't.
Yeah.
And so there's this lady, like, she was really nice, like trying to pick the lock to my truck and get in, and everybody's walking past giving me the
idiot.
Yeah. And I just was thinking to myself how fine I am with like me being the man, with the manliness, but having this like lady, like really nice lady, like pick the lock on my truck or whatever. And I'm like, but everybody else is not cool with it. Yeah. You guys are the problem. But she gets my keys out, and initially I couldn't find my keys in my truck, but they had fallen under my seat. So, but anyways, if there's any ladies out there and it's always been your dream to be a locksmith, you can do anything you put your mind to, because she got into my vehicle in less than 30 seconds.
She's Catwoman.
Yeah. She killed it.
All you women out there that are good with cars and good with mechanical things and locks, good for you. Good for you.
This song, does that like transition music ever make you feel like you're just floating?
No, because I'm not on drugs.
I think it makes everybody who listens to it go.
Yeah,
but it's not like a headbanging like metal.
No,
it's just like a slight bob and nod. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Mr. Creature. Shout out again.
Yes.
Anyways, we're moving into our next segment called Weird Worship.
Weird Worship.
And, if you've been in the church for any amount of time, especially the charismatic church or, spirit-filled church, you've probably seen some things and some stuff.
Yeah, stuff and things.
That made you a little bit uncomfortable. You might think was a little bit weird. And maybe some worship lyrics, some songs. And so this is a segment where we just kind of talk about some questionable worship stuff.
Yeah.
And this week is a kind of it's a breaking story this week. It's probably past by the time you guys listen to it.
Right.
But let me preface it. So everybody knows Cory Asbury.
Yeah.
Reckless Love.
We know Cory Asbury. Okay.
Thank you. Cory Asbury.
Trying to figure out what you would do.
Former IHOP worship leader. That's kind of where he got to start. And then he went off solo and has done his best work solo. And he's also a bit of a comedian.
Oh, yeah. He's hilarious.
On Instagram. And honestly, like, if you don't follow him on social media, if you're easily offended, don't. But, like, he has some pretty dank comedy.
Yes.
Like, pretty edgy stuff.
Very, very edgy.
He got a cusser in him, too, I think.
Yeah. He's dropped a few cuss words. He,
I'm down. I'm not against. I'm not against.
I think the initial controversy was like he let his kid paint his nails. Everybody's like, "Whoa, you have painted nails," which, in his defense, that's pretty dumb of people to criticize him for.
My daughter painted my nails.
But a couple months ago during the summer, he's been started making these spoof songs. Yeah, kind of like what we do on the podcast.
He's been watching us.
And he made one about anxiety. And what he was doing was he was making fun of all the Christian legalists who are just like, if you have anxiety or depression, you're not praying enough, you have secret sin, it's God's judgment or wrath.
Just read the Bible more.
Just read the Bible more, and he's kind of, in a way, he's actually making fun of the legalist.
Right.
But his lyrics are so pointed.
It's subversive, sardonic. It's really sarcastic.
Yeah. If you don't know him.
Yeah.
You would think he's literally making fun of people with anxiety and depression.
Right.
And people jumped on him for that, even though that's not what he was doing. Now, more recently, we all know he's made this public knowledge.
Right.
Cory had a vasectomy.
Yeah.
And the only reason we know this is because he made a bunch of videos about it.
Yep.
So,
not a how-to.
Not a how-to, but yeah, there's a video of him at the doctor's office too. He's recording himself while it's happening. You don't see anything, obviously. But so he decides, while he's in recovery, that he's going to turn this into an opportunity for another spoof song.
Yeah.
The song he decides to riff on is the Forrest Frank song, I was down, but now I'm up. You know?
I'm aware of Forrest Frank, but I don't really listen to him.
Me neither, but it's a super popular song with younger Christians. Forrest Frank's been super influential over the summer.
Does he Forrest Gump?
No, you said Forrest Frank.
I thought Forrest Gump.
And so he makes a song, and that song for Forrest is based off of a time in his life where he had a terrible tragedy. I guess you said he
broke his back.
He broke his back.
Or at least recently he broke his back.
Someone stepped on a crack.
So that song was birthed out of like sort of him dealing with this traumatic injury. And then his hero, Cory Asbury, spoofs it and kind of makes fun of the song, makes fun of him. Like he says this line, Cory does, like, well, when life gave Forrest lemons, he made lemonade.
Right.
And so, and then Forrest kind of gets a little butthurt about it.
Yeah.
But people were making fun of him. I kind of get it. It's like your hero is making fun of your song. And I know it was in good, it was trying to be funny.
I don't know. So I went back and watched Forrest's reaction video to seeing Cory Asbury.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he reacted like that. He was like, honestly, guys, this is just a very hard time in my life, and it's just very painful. And to see him make fun of me, like he's not making fun of you. Like I feel like he took it personally.
Who are we to determine how someo's supposed to take something?
We're the hosts of a podcast.
We don't know. But I'm just
so we get to determine.
We don't know how down bad Forrest was. We don't know how much that song meant to him.
We do now.
We do now.
Yeah.
And so what I made it, like John Mark Comer is one of my favorite preachers, right?
Yeah.
It would be like, I would feel a little bummed if I preached a sermon, he watched it, and then kind of started riffing on it. It would hurt me more because it's like my hero. So I'm not defending Forrest Frank getting super upset about it, but I am gonna sit here and say, like, we don't know the feelings that he was going through. I mean, when you see your hero kind of rip on your song a little bit.
But I don't think all I'm saying is I don't think Cory Asbury's content was making fun of Forrest.
Yeah.
I think he was capitalizing on a moment like, hey, I'm injured too.
Yeah.
And it was funny because his was a vasectomy.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
I'm going to take the side of being sensitive here and saying,
no.
And say Cory didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm also not going to like step on Forrest for, being upset about it either. But now Cory has made an apology, a really heartfelt apology.
Gosh.
Yeah.
And so here's where we're at. Finally, the setup, is
this Gen X in me is just like,
the setup is this. So Cory is, for better or for worse, seen as kind of like a spiritual leader, because of his worship music. Yeah. But he also, from time to time, releases fairly offensive yet funny clips. And people get upset because they're like, people got their face melted to Reckless Love.
Right.
And now their guys wrote a song about a vasectomy.
Right.
And so how do we handle this? I mean, we've talked about worship leaders in the past and how we've decided they're not, pastors.
Right.
But people still have this spiritual connection to them that's unavoidable. And so should people like Cory or other worship leaders, he's really the only one that's doing this right now, should we look to them in that way? Should Cory be more careful, or should he just keep doing what he's doing?
What's the balance between authenticity? This is who I really am, and so you should see me as I really am, and the responsibility of being in ministry and realizing that people. It's like the story you talked about where you made a joke and got in trouble on Facebook because people value what you have to say because of your role in ministry. Yeah, I mean that's hard. And so I throw a few things out there just to help muddy the waters. In the Old Testament, not only were the priests Levites, but the worshipers were Levites. That was the tribe of the 12 that was set apart and holy unto God for worship. And so they lived off of the other 11 tribes. When they get to the promised land, they don't get their own land. They have land within the other tribe's land. They live at the temple. They live off the sacrifices.
I wish we could live on like someone else's land. That'd be pretty cool.
And so you see in that culture, you see the worship leader is right there with the priest as far as like influence and like being set apart and holy. Now, is it fair to apply that to today? No, it's not, because that's not what we have. We have a larger disconnect between, what people would call clergy, like a pastor or someone who works at a church or a preacher or whatever, and someone who leads the worship portion of the service. Now, I'm not saying it should be like that. I'm just saying that's usually how it is.
Yeah.
But still, at the same time, I've got that same sense of humor, and listeners, y'all have, seen it and heard it here on Not the Sermon, but I've censored myself on purpose, not only, and I'm not just a worship leader, I'm a pastor, but even in the songs that we've done, the parodies, like I've toned some stuff down and not said some stuff that I personally would have thought was funny.
Well, you did write a worship song about drug use.
I did, that's true. But because I've laid my life down for the cause of the kingdom.
Yeah.
And it's not being fake and it's not being inauthentic, it's just realizing that my life is not my own anymore. And I get to have moments like Not the Sermon. I get to have funny moments in our sermons as well, where I can tell jokes and goof around and be myself. But ultimately, God has called me to advance His kingdom, not my popularity. Yeah. And so that means if the two ever clash, I've got to choose His kingdom.
Yeah. No, I agree. And this is something I struggle with all of the time. I mean, probably I wish I didn't as much, but like the feeling of being overexposed.
Yeah.
Because like we do, not only, are we're pastoring a decently sized church in a smaller town, which amplifies the exposure. We've got the podcast. Now I see my face and your face on social media everywhere because of the reels and the videos and all this kind of stuff. And like you want to be like, you're just like, I'm just a real boy. Like I'm just like I'm just a guy. But like there's a part of that just a guy that you sacrifice to do what you do.
I'm just a guy eating fries.
And I've struggled with that because you're like people. It's funny, people crave, especially coming out of like a mega church culture like we are, where the pastor is always like the separate guy. You don't get to see him, and people have this craving, like I want to know my pastor. I want to and I'm like, but when we try, we get you're
just going to be disappointed.
You get disappointed and offended.
Never meet your heroes.
Right. Oh, you know what's funny? In between segments, listener, we talked a little bit about a debate that I had with someone about women in ministry. That guy is the lead singer and guitarist for a band that I loved when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Really looked up to, and through our correspondence with each other, not a fan really much anymore.
Oh, so you feel a little bit like Forrest does.
I do.
Huh.
Well, no.
Maybe you wasn't wrong. You heard it first.
Whoa.
Lord, thank you, Lord, for setting that up for me.
Got him.
No, I hear what you're saying. But yeah, I just, as far as Cory's concerned, I think he's funny. I think he's playing this game at his own risk.
Yes.
And I think that's what you do. I think you be authentic. You be the real you, but do it at your own risk.
Right.
Well, let's be honest, too. He's a songwriter.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he does lead worship at churches, but he's a songwriter. Mm-hmm. Like, what do songwriters do? They write songs.
What?
And their personality comes out in that, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so his sarcasm, his, the silliness or whatever, I know guys that write songs that never get released.
Right.
We live in
That's
a different
me.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't even remember half the songs I write.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so, like, is that ministry? Like, because there's a bunch of songwriters that never lead a song in worship.
I mean, I would say it is,
but they make money off of the music, the songs, right? And so it's like there's such a conundrum on this because it's so different now.
Yeah,
it's so it's just not like the Levites in the past.
Right.
It's a capitalist scheme to make millions of dollars.
There's
in some ways,
well, but also because of social media, there's access.
That's right.
No one would know what Cory Asbury was like if there wasn't social media.
And that's the game we're playing.
Yeah,
we are playing the exposure game. Like, we have the ability in this culture to
the exposure game. Tell me more about this.
Just don't show me more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're playing this game in culture where you can. I mean, you as many people as you can stand can hear what you're saying, hear your ideas, see your face, watch your videos, and that's the game that you're playing.
Yeah.
And so to go to the other side where I'm going to go, the Gump dude, Forrest, whatever his name is,
Forrest Frank,
like that dude. Like, I mean, how sensitive do you got to be? You know how the game's played.
Yeah.
You're writing songs. You're out there doing that. Like, come on, man, get some skin about you.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree because I don't think he knows the game he's playing. The dude's a young worship leader who wrote a song that got wildly popular overnight. He doesn't know this game yet. Cory does. Cory knows what he's doing.
Get some tough skin.
What I'm saying is, if Forrest were in our congregation and he came to you upset about this, we would pastor him. We wouldn't tell him to suck it up and grow up.
But if he was my kid, I would say, hey, suck it up and grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my kids more than I love anybody in this.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Like, you would pastor them because that's your job, and sometimes you have to do things with kid gloves because you can't always say what needs to be said because it wouldn't be received right, and somebody would go somewhere else or be upset with you. But if it was your kid, if my kid came to me and said that, and I love very much, I would be honest with him and say, hey, you need to suck it up, Buttercup, and let's move on.
Yeah. If Forrest Frank and Cory Asbury came to me in a pastoral role and said, hey, what should we do about this? I would have counseled Forrest to say, hey, what do you think he meant by this? Mm-hmm. Is this what you think it is? Could you be taking this personally?
Yeah.
Is it really worth, the drama and the emotional stuff that you're going through right now? And then I would tell Cory, I would say, hey, you should apologize. Whether you meant to or not, you offended this dude, and so it's on us, right, to make things right. As Scripture says, if you know someone has something against you, leave your offering.
Oh, that's exactly what he did, though.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not going to criticize Cory for that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not criticizing. I'm saying he did a good thing when he did apologize, and he actually started a song, said, let's write a song together. It was cool. It was a cool moment.
Yeah.
But I would also counsel Cory and say, hey, man, people look up to you, and you, if ministry ever conflicts with your personality or your sense of humor, let ministry win.
Yeah.
Another thing.
All right, guys, we are moving into our next segment called
Houston.
Wow.
I forgot.
Houston was asleep at the wheel. Our sermonites
in 3, 2, 2, 1.
Houston. We have a question.
Houston, we have a question. This is a segment where our sermonauts write in questions to us, and you can always get us a question about theology, faith, or culture by emailing notthesermon@gmail.com. That's the best way to get your questions to us.
Some people on Facebook Messenger us or Instagram Messenger. Guys, we don't really check that.
Yeah, send a meme to Instagram, but if you have a question, send it to the email. And this question comes from a sermonaut named Jonathan, and it's short and sweet and to the point.
Yeah.
It says, give the biblical definition of Antichrist. Antifreeze? Antichrist. Is it one person? Is it a movement? So he's asking a question about the Antichrist. Is it a person? Is it a movement? What is it? Again, this is like every election that we have in the United States reveals the LinkedIn profile of the new Antichrist.
Yes, that's right. Anyone that anyone doesn't like, they are the Antichrist, right? Let me share some scripture. Since he said give the biblical, right? This is surprising to a lot of people, okay? But the title of Antichrist is not in the book of Revelation. It's only mentioned a handful of times, and all of those times are in 1 John.
Yes.
Okay, first, and there's one in 2 John. So let me read them to you here. 1 John 2:18. You've heard that the Antichrist or Antichrist is coming. So many Antichrists have come. All right. So immediately, what does that tell us? That tells us there's not just a singular figure, if there is.
Yeah. It's not the Where's Waldo.
Right. It's not this future concept to be looking out for. It's a now concept to be looking out for.
And it's not singular.
That's right. It's multiple.
Plural.
Well, so we keep reading, we'll find out more. 1 John 2:22. Who is the liar but he who denies that Jesus is the Christ? This is the Antichrist.
There's your answer, full stop.
Yeah. I mean, anyone who denies that Jesus is the Messiah, that Jesus is who he says he is, that person is operating underneath an Antichrist spirit. Here's another one. This is 1 John. This is 2 chapters later, chapter 4, verse 3. Every spirit that does not confess Jesus is not from God. This is the spirit of the Antichrist. So again, we're not talking about an individual human person. We're talking about a spirit that's permeating and infiltrating both the church and the world. Last one, 2 John, verse 7. Many deceivers have gone out, those who do not confess the coming of Jesus Christ in the flesh. Such a one is the deceiver and the Antichrist. Yeah. So here we have, and that was a direct attack on Gnosticism, which was a popular heresy back then that said Jesus was more of an apparition or a visualization. He was not in a body. He was not a human person. And so biblically only, the Antichrist is not only a figure that may exist in the future, but it is a present spirit now.
I would go as far as to say it's not an individual figure that will exist in the future. I think that comes from a marrying of John's Antichrist and the Revelation terminology of the beast.
Right.
Which we know Antichrist that word is not present in the book of Revelation.
Right.
And also people have a tendency to use the book of Revelation as like some sort of guide map to the future.
Right.
It has aspects of that. Right. But as far as the Antichrist is concerned, John spells it out. It's anyone who puts themselves in opposition to Christ.
Right.
It's not I don't think it's a person I think a person, an individual can operate under that spirit. Yes. I think a world leader can.
Yeah.
But I don't think that makes them the beast of Revelation. I think the Antichrist could be present in any situation where someone is actively opposing Jesus.
Right. And that's the problem, is that so many people are looking for a person in the future instead of realizing there's a spirit right now.
Look,
that we need
there
to
might be an Antichrist in your group chat. You don't know. They watching CNN.
Interesting word study. Okay.
On group chat?
When we say anti, we mean against. So if I were to say I'm anti-abortion, that would mean I'm against abortion. But anti-Christ doesn't mean against Christ. It actually means in the place of Christ. So anytime there is a program at church, a false messiah, faith in something else, than Christ, that is Antichrist. And so we have to watch out for Antichrist, that spirit, in our churches,
in our church programming.
Anytime anything that takes the place of Jesus is Antichrist.
So are you telling me that the children's Christmas
Where's the
musical,
record scratch? Where's the record?
Are you telling me that the children's Christmas musical could be an Antichrist movement?
If it is done intentionally to replace Jesus, potentially.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to do that intentionally, Yeah,
I agree.
I think we got to define intentionality there.
Well, that's why I said it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you just made it seem like someone could have like a singles mixer at their church, and it's an Antichrist movement.
No. I don't think I said that.
I used to think that it was a trinity of them.
Yeah.
And there were three people who were going to make the head of because
they're going to come from the Middle East
to imitate God.
Okay, so
I thought it was a pope.
Here's where that comes from.
Yeah.
Here's where that comes from. Okay, so there were two beasts in Revelation. I believe it's chapter 13. Two beasts, one from the sea, one from the land. People interpret the beast from the sea, the first beast, to be the Antichrist, and the second beast from the land to be the false prophet. Okay. And so now Revelation doesn't use that language of Antichrist, but they say that beast is.
Who's they? I want to know who they is.
Dispensationalists. futurists, dispies, people who have a literal reading of Revelation instead of symbolic, and who think that it's all about the end times instead of the actual target audience of the time.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. It's caused a lot of fear. I mean, we were eating lunch just the other day and someone literally stopped you and were like, I think you're a pastor, right?
Yes.
By the way, what does this strange symbol I saw on YouTube mean?
Right.
You know, the people, I really have a heart for those people because I think it's fear-based. I think, you know, when you read something, the end times for Christians is supposed to elicit hope.
Right.
Like Jesus is coming back. He's going to make all things right and he's going to make all things new.
Yeah.
That's supposed to make you hopeful. If you are reading an end times theology and it doesn't bring peace and joy to your heart, I would question, you know, the type of end time stuff you're into.
Futurism and dispensationalism makes the end times into a horror movie.
Yeah.
While if you read the actual scripture, the end times is more like a wedding feast.
Yeah.
It's a time of celebration.
Yeah, if you're not encouraged by it, you probably need to check some stuff in your heart too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking forward to meeting.
And if you get a book about the end times and it has a single chart in it, throw it away.
Throw that junk away.
Throw it away.
Well, listener, I'll give you some homework real quick. There is one more area that talks about the Antichrist, or what people perceive to be the Antichrist, and that's 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, the man of lawlessness or the man of perdition. If you are a futurist, dispensationalist, that's all about the future. It's all about a singular Antichrist that's coming in the future. If you are a partial preterist, which is what I lean towards, that's about Nero and the coming Roman destruction of the temple and the ushering in of a new era, post second temple Judaism, where the only way to salvation is faith in Christ, and that's kind of where I land.
think where I land, I'm more of a post pylon idol.
That's a lot of titles.
That's the dimple like above your butt.
Oh,
the pylon idol cavity. Yep.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Have you ever been reading the Bible, Eric, and you go, Bible says what?
Oh, all of the
Bible
time.
says what?
All of the time. I was saying, what?
Bible says what? Huh?
Yeah. So yeah, I have.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, boy, are you in for a treat then?
Man.
Because this segment...
He just remembered he was leading this segment.
That's twice.
I went somewhere else in my mind for a split second.
Houston, we have a problem.
This segment, or Seggy, is called Houston. Wait, no.
All right, so this is a segment called Bible Says What. Guys, have you ever been reading, that was justice for saying that word you just said. Have you ever been reading the Bible and you just come across a really odd statement? And do you have no room to talk right now, brother? You are on thin ice already. And you come across a passage in the Bible and it just makes you say, what? You're like, what does this even mean? And so this is a segment where we bring those up and we talk about them. And Jamie, you've got one that I feel like in the past we've cut because we didn't think it was going to.
We weren't sure if we could
be careful enough with it.
But you know what? If Cory Asbury can see the stuff he says, if he can live vlog his vasectomy, then we can talk about this passage of scripture.
Play at your own risk, Jamie.
All right, here we go. Here we go. So this is Galatians 5, right before the fruit of the Spirit. And Paul is saying in verse 6, for in Christ Jesus, neither circumcision nor uncircumcision.
What is circumcision?
Counts for anything. It is
not vasectomy.
It's like a vasectomy, but not.
It was the sign of the old covenant, where part of skin was removed. But only faith, because it doesn't count for anything, but only faith working in love. Then he starts getting onto the Galatians. He's like, you were running well. You know, what hindered you? He goes, you're believing the wrong thing. He goes, if I still preach circumcision, why am I being persecuted? And then he goes, says this.
Persecuted.
Verse 12.
Yes.
I wish those who unsettle you would emasculate themselves. Now, this is the ESV that I'm reading, because you know, emasculate themselves. What is, and a lot of the translations say that. New Living says, I just wish that those troublemakers who want to mutilate you by circumcision would mutilate themselves.
Yeah.
So we're still not totally sure what he's saying.
Yeah.
But you can go back to the Greek, and what he's literally saying, he's saying, look, those people that are so obsessed with circumcision, if they really want to be holy, they should just cut everything off.
Yeah.
Not just part.
We've all been there.
And this is in the Bible. Mm-hmm. So this is Paul. He's being funny.
Yeah.
And a lot of the translators don't know what to do. I want to read one more translation because this was so funny to me. NIV says, I wish they would go the whole way and emasculate themselves. So they're like, hinting towards it. And then New King James says, I wish they would even cut themselves off. The NLV, which I don't even know what that means, they dial it in.
New Living Bible.
I thought it was New Living Version.
No, that's New Living Translation, NLT. Because I wish those who are so willing to cut your bodies would complete the job by cutting themselves off from you. That is not what he says. They are changing the meaning because it's so crude. They're like, surely he didn't mean this.
Yeah, there is, just on that, the thing that makes me say, what about that, is I get what Paul is saying. He is so just upset with these people that he's having a moment. He's having a crash out, as the kids would say.
One says, I wish those who unsettle you would castrate themselves.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think the puritanical mind can't comprehend that Paul would reference that, because in our culture, you can't make a reference to anything like that. I'm not saying like you should all the time, but like he said, look, Paul said what he said.
He's Gen X.
Yeah,
and it's the inspired,
he was like
inerrant, infallible
Gen
word
BC,
of God,
dude. Or something. Yeah, and so like, he's so exasperated, I guess would be the word, with these Judaizers who were doing what they were doing, that he's like, if they want to do that, then they should do this too.
Right. Well, and it's funny too. The exaggeration is so funny because he's saying, "Oh, you think just the little part? You think that makes you holy? Well, then what happens if you take everything off? Right? Go ahead and just be super holy."
Yeah. So
so that's the Bible says what, man? That is a weird passage.
That's a weird passage.
Not one you want to teach your children to memorize.
He said what he said.
Yep.
Do you think anybody was offended by that?
No.
The
Judaizers probably were. So
the
answer, so mine,
but not from like a puritanical, like, oh, I can't believe,
touching of the pearls.
Oh my,
yeah. So mine's not funny, but it was one that we kind of discovered. We were in a meeting, like an elders meeting.
It'll become funny.
Someone brought this up, and they're like, I don't know what this means. And I was like, I have to find, like, when they read the verse, I was like, what? So it is Ecclesiastes 11:1, and it says, cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. And so, like, what?
Actually, no, you won't. It'll be soggy.
It's gonna be soggy.
And a fish will have eaten it.
Yeah. So, like, we talking about feeding carp, like our like turtles at the pond, ducks. Like, what is he talking about? And so, I actually went on a semi deep dive. I think I went to the middle of the pool on this one, but it was a maritime metaphor. Maritime meaning like ocean, seafaring ships and stuff like that. And basically, what it meant was to cast your bread meant to cast your wealth on a ship going to sea.
So like cash is bread.
Yeah, like cash is bread. That, I gotta make that bread. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Invest exactly, Alex. So he's talking about it, like he's making this this metaphor about investing on these ships that go out to sea with the goods. Because think about it, during Solomon's time, you were giving your investment, your goods or your money, to a ship that you had no idea if they were going to come back. Like, they could be ripping you off. They could get lost at sea. They could shipwreck. They could die on the journey. But if they made it back, you would get a return on your investment. And so what Ecclesiastes is talking about, Solomon's talking about here, is make risky investments. Like, not in terms of like stock market, but he's like, invest generously into something, because when you do, you'll get a good return.
So don't just go halfway. Is that maybe what he's saying?
Exactly.
Don't do it halfway?
Yeah, like don't just, throw some seeds. Like if you're going to invest in something, go all in on it, And in the past, and most scholars will say it's a reference to like generosity. Like if you're going to be generous, go all the way, because God's going to give you a return on that investment. It may seem risky, but this is about generosity. And I think it's more than generosity too. I think he's like literally encouraging people like, hey, like, YOLO in a way, like make an investment, you know, you don't know if it's going to return, but we trust the Lord and it will. So,
and do you think this is like the beginning of low carb diets?
I think it's the beginning of multi-level marketing.
Throw your bread away.
Yeah.
I think it's like, the Lord loves a cheerful giver. I don't think that's giving just to the church.
Well, it's
giving.
Apparently it's giving to carp.
Well, I was about to say, when you cast your bread on the water, you're giving to ducks as well.
Was this written by Big Carp?
This was written by a duck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just trying to get us to feed it. And our next segment is Houston. Are
you
kidding.
broken, Jamie?
I'm broken.
I was going to say,
I'm in a loop.
And that is how the cookie crumbles.
Oh, that's way better than what I did.
Hey, real quick though, for all our audio listeners, and we try not to beat you over the head with this, but we have a Patreon.
Yeah.
And a Patreon is it's just like a little audio video community. If you want to actually see our smiling faces and get some really good in between segment content, you can go and subscribe for either $5 or $10 a month to our Patreon. All of the money goes to making the podcast better. This is a ministry of our church, and so we appreciate all the people who on our deacon and elder board, which is what we call our Patreon members, who help us with the podcast. And so you can go there. And also, hey, if you just want to subscribe free, if you just want to hang out on the front porch for a little while, we release some exclusive content there that you won't get on social media or anywhere else. So.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to see the digs here, the production room where we do our podcast, there's a free video for anyone that's a free subscriber that can see it on Patreon. So we'd love to see you guys there.
It's not the same as a Patreon.
Patronize.
It's patronizing. Yeah. I don't know.
They might be patronizing us by becoming a Patreon.
Yeah, I think it is being a patron of, but not patronizing.
No, they're patronizing us by becoming a Patreon.
Well, that's why it's called Patreon. Patrons. Anyways, is Shooting the Skybalon?
Yeah.
Is that where we're going?
Shooting the Skybalon.
Shady theology. What do we do?
Thank you for listening to Not the Sermon.
Thanks for listening. This podcast is a production of Victory Fellowship Church in Thomasville, Georgia. Eric and Jamie can be reached at emailing notthesermon@gmail.com.
Father to the fatherless, defender of the little kids, gracious and compassionate. Was